Hi everyone, not too long ago I had the opportunity to of course check out Moza's R9 wheelbase with of course the Formula 1 wheel and of course your normal wheel. But with that being said, it was the pedals that were still a miss, and today we actually have those. So we're gonna do an unboxing and of course impressions about the pedals themselves, including a different kind of setup. Normally of course, at least for me, when it comes to pedals they are already put together. However, with the Moza S-RP you have different bundles. For instance, you can actually remove the clutch itself and then it's 180 euros. Unless you are a premium member on RaceDepartment, then you can actually get some discount via our website itself. Just become a premium member, it's about 15 euros a year, and then you will get actually some good discounts on these pedals as well. Not to mention, of course, if you do want a new wheelbase, definitely check that out as well. Either way, when it comes to the Moza S-RP pedal sets, we're gonna just check it out, unbox it itself, and of course we do have the full version, so clutch included. Now for the brake itself, it is of course load cell, so that does mean that you can actually change the springs itself and make it a bit heavier, but the rest is basically the standard. Either way, let's jump into the unboxing and of course impressions of these pedals. So let's just start with of course unboxing the base of these pedals. Now of course you get a clutch separate, which you can actually attach to this base as well, and these are of course the S-RP racing pedals. Now, in terms of unboxing, it's a simple experience of course, nothing too fancy. Now you will notice that unlike some other pedals that you can buy, this is a set that you have to put together yourself. Now in this you will have your brake pedal and of course your gas as well, so your acceleration pedal. If your cable, and that was basically what is inside this unit in itself. Yeah, definitely looking really good. Ooh, nice. Yeah, this feels quite strong, so that's actually really nice. It's not, of course, the strongest that you will get, because this is not a set that costs a crazy amount. Now, of course, when it comes to putting it together, it's really simple with how everything is. So you just have your 3 pedals in this case. Of course you can get it with just your normal brake and of course accelerator, and then you put this metal shroud above it and then you can screw them in. Now because I have the clutch with it as well, of course they are spread out a little bit less, but if you want just the brake and of course your accelerator, you can and spread the space between them as well. Now of course for the clutch and of course the brake you can also put it higher or lower. And for the accelerator, the same counts as well. You can put it higher or lower as well. Now, everything that you need in terms of tools is of course provided, which includes of course your wrench and of course your inbus as well. And of course all the screws and everything that you need. Now, of course the small one allows you to remove the pedals itself and put them in a different position that you want it to be. And you of course have your bigger ones to put it together as well. Anyway, let's start putting it together and see how it comes out at the end. So because of how this is built, I would straight away start with just simply connecting your cables itself. So this is the brake position, which again is labeled right here at the front. And then you just simply put it in right there. Then you have your brake load cell, which is the last one so far to the right. And then of course you have your clutch. Now I will have to say one thing, is that these cables are quite short, so you have to move them quite a bit if you want to place them properly. And then you can put it right through this one, like so, just to allow of course the cables to run through it properly and not have them in an annoying position. So putting them through of course the center of your brake pedals. This way everything is connected properly and they are not in the way, as you can see. Now then it's simply putting on of course your metal plate on top of it, and that's basically the installation of course these Moza pedal sets. Now, one benefit of having this kind of system where they are all 3 separate parts is that you can maneuver it around. So for instance, if I want my brake to be properly centered, I can do that. But if I want it more towards the clutch, I can also do that. This is actually quite nice for someone who wants to just change it around, have a custom setup when it comes to these pedals. So again, this seems a bit odd compared to some others, but it actually makes sense when you look at it from this perspective, customizability.
So let's talk about my experience and impressions of the pedal set from Moza. By default, I would advise straight away to change the spring on, of course, the brake pedal. I feel like while it has a decent amount of load behind it, for myself I felt like the brake pedal was a little bit too light. Not much, but just that little bit. And for myself, I just like that a little bit better to have that bit more feedback. The pedal that I think they did really well is the accelerator / throttle. It feels pretty good and feels consistent as well. Combined with having a larger pedal as well for it, makes me feel like I have more control over my throttle. And without a doubt, I noticed the difference when driving games like Formula 1 or Assetto Corsa. Just a bit more confidence on the throttle really helps me getting more control over the car itself. The clutch itself feels fine, although I will have to say it feels a little bit weaker than I'd like it to be. But again, combined what we are talking about with this set, it really doesn't cost that much. So for the price itself, I think it's actually quite impressive what you get. Also, when first connecting the pedals via the Moza software, make sure you set up those pedals. I noticed for myself that the brake pedal was off, while fully pressing it, it was about 30%. I also have to say that the build quality of these pedals is really good. And for the price, I think you are getting great pedals that I can easily recommend. Just wish I could directly connect the pedals to the wheelbase itself. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen my impressions video on the Moza R9 base, make sure to check that out. It is actually a great budget-friendly direct drive wheel. But let me know if you have any specific questions about these pedals and I will try to answer them. And also be sure to check out RaceDepartment for the latest news, and of course, becoming a premium member will actually allow you some great deals as well on wheels or pedals like this.